Imagine this. You turn on your TV. Whether it's a gripping drama, a hilarious sitcom, or a documentary about the universe, you're pulled into a world that feels as real as your own, sometimes even more so. But have you ever stopped to think about how this happens? What is it about TV that has such a powerful effect on us? Why can it make us laugh, cry, think, or even question our place in the world? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating psychology and philosophy behind television. What is it doing to our minds? How does it shape our perception of reality, our emotions, and even our identities? Is TV just a passive form of entertainment, or is it something much more profound? Let's explore. Television has been a cornerstone of modern life for decades. It's where we turn for news, entertainment, and even education. But its impact goes beyond that. It can shape our behavior, our emotions, and even our worldview. TV doesn't just reflect society, it can reshape it. It has the power to influence everything from the way we understand our cultural history to how we view our place in the world. It's more than just a window into society. It is, in many ways, the lens through which we view reality itself. It shapes the way we understand history, politics, and human interactions. When you sit down to watch TV, you're not just tuning into a show. You're entering a complex and ever-evolving world. This world is curated and carefully crafted by directors, writers, and producers who design these shows to affect you, emotionally, intellectually, and even psychologically. This world has the power to tap into your desires, fears, beliefs, and aspirations, creating a relationship with the viewer that goes far beyond entertainment. Think about it. How often have you found yourself deeply invested in a show, eagerly awaiting the next episode, feeling like you're living in the world of your favorite characters? It's not just a story unfolding on screen. You're emotionally connected, and your mind is absorbing everything. These characters, their motivations, their triumphs, their failures, they become a part of your reality, influencing the way you see the world outside of the screen. Your emotions are triggered and connected to these fictional lives, making them feel intensely real. So, what's going on inside your brain when you watch TV? Television isn't just telling us stories, it's shaping how we behave. If you've ever found yourself feeling like you need to watch a certain show every week or binge the entire season in one sitting, you're experiencing a kind of reward-based conditioning. The excitement, the suspense, the twists, all of these elements are designed to trigger emotions and dopamine responses in your brain. This creates a feedback loop that makes you want more. The more you watch, the more your brain craves those emotional highs, reinforcing the cycle of engagement. This cycle doesn't just affect your brain, it changes how you interact with your environment and other people. Shows can dictate what kinds of conversations you have, what you think is funny, what you think is important, and even how you relate to others. TV creates a shared cultural language. The references, the memes, the common experiences, it's all part of how TV shapes and influences group dynamics. Even more subtly, TV shows can shape our attitudes and actions. Think about the way certain characters or shows influence our beliefs. The heroic characters we admire, the villains we love to hate, or even the casual moments of life that we see on screen. They all give us mental blueprints for how to navigate the world. We learn about relationships, social norms, and personal values from what we watch. Take, for example, popular shows like Grey's Anatomy or The Crown. They don't just entertain, they open up dialogues about ethics, power, and human behavior. Through these shows, we may find ourselves challenging our ideas about love, leadership, or identity, sometimes even without realizing it. For instance, The Crown shows us the complexities of royal life and political power, sparking questions about leadership, duty, and personal sacrifice. Meanwhile, Grey's Anatomy often tackles issues like race, gender, and medical ethics, pushing us to confront tough questions about inequality, human vulnerability, and the value of human life. For many, television serves as a mental escape. After a long day, we often turn to TV to decompress, to get lost in another world where the worries of real life are momentarily forgotten. This escape is a form of catharsis, a way of processing emotions without directly confronting them. It's why crime dramas are so popular. The chaos and danger on screen allow us to experience fear and suspense from the safety of our couches. This detachment allows us to explore darker themes like crime, corruption, or societal breakdown without being personally affected. But what happens when this escape goes too far? When we use TV to numb ourselves instead of confronting the deeper issues in our lives? This is where we get into the complex relationship between entertainment and mental health. TV, while providing catharsis and relaxation, can also contribute to emotional avoidance and overconsumption, leading to unhealthy habits. In extreme cases, it can even become a form of escapism, where we avoid dealing with our own emotions or life challenges. The numbing effect of endless TV watching can become an unhealthy coping mechanism for avoiding stress, grief, or loneliness. The famous psychologist Albert Bandura introduced the idea of social learning theory, which states that people learn by observing others. When we watch TV, we're often absorbing behaviors, attitudes, and social norms just by watching the characters interact. This is why TV shows can be so influential. They can teach us how to behave in society, how to react to certain situations, or how to interpret the world around us. Consider how often we see the kinds of behaviors modeled in TV shows. Characters, whether good or bad, serve as role models for how to handle relationships, manage conflict, or even think about societal issues. The behavior of TV characters can influence our own beliefs about right and wrong, normal and abnormal, acceptable and unacceptable. For example, the portrayal of law enforcement on TV can influence how we view the criminal justice system or how we perceive authority figures in real life. Think about the way people often mimic the behavior of their favorite TV characters. The way a character handles conflict or expresses love can have a lasting impact on how we approach these same issues in our lives. TV shows can subconsciously teach us about what is acceptable behavior, or even normalize certain attitudes that we might not have questioned otherwise. It's why shows like Friends or The Office have become cultural touchstones. People start to identify with the characters and their behaviors. They're not just watching stories unfold, they're learning how to navigate the ups and downs of life. The characters' relationships and struggles become a kind of mental map we can follow in our own lives, even if we don't consciously realize it. The traits we see in those characters, humor, love, resilience, become part of the way we see ourselves and others. Now let's shift gears and take a philosophical perspective on TV. Is TV simply a form of entertainment? Or is it a mirror reflecting the world we live in? Television has always been a powerful tool for shaping and reflecting societal values. It's not just entertainment. It's a platform where culture, politics, and philosophy intersect. TV doesn't just mirror society. It actively participates in shaping it. The content we consume can influence our beliefs about power, justice, identity, and truth. Shows are a snapshot of the cultural climate at a given time. They can highlight important social issues like race, gender, and class, or they can reinforce harmful stereotypes. Look at how TV has evolved over the years. From the idealized cookie-cutter families of the 1950s to the complex, flawed characters we see today, TV is constantly reshaping its own narrative to reflect how society changes, and in turn, society watches, learns, and shifts its own values. But is TV simply a reflection of society, or does it also create the very values it presents? For instance, consider how reality TV shows often create a new normal for beauty standards, relationships, or even success. Does TV dictate what we find important, or simply capture what we already care about? Shows like The Bachelor or Keeping Up with the Kardashians shape cultural norms by depicting a hyper-idealized view of life, relationships, and wealth. These images may influence viewers' expectations of what is normal or desirable in their own lives, often with little regard for the deeper complexities of real-world experiences. At the heart of TV lies fiction, stories that may seem distant from our reality, yet have a deep psychological effect on us. When we watch a drama or a sitcom, we're engaging with a fictional world. But does fiction change how we understand truth? Philosophically, fiction can challenge the boundaries of what's real and what's imagined, forcing us to confront deeper questions about life, existence, and our own place in the world. TV shows often present scenarios that make us question our own beliefs. Maybe it's a moral dilemma faced by a character or an existential crisis that makes us reflect on our own life choices. Shows like The Sopranos or Breaking Bad invite us to dive deep into the moral complexities of human behavior. Can we empathize with characters who are morally flawed? And what does that say about us? These shows, while fictional, often make us confront real-world issues and moral conundrums that we might otherwise avoid. One of the most fascinating ways TV shapes us is through the creation of identity. TV gives us a framework for understanding ourselves and others. The characters we watch, the roles we see them play, often influence how we see our own role in society. Do we aspire to be like the charismatic, successful hero? Or are we drawn to the complex, troubled anti-hero? These portrayals of identity are powerful. They shape our ideals of beauty, success, and happiness. And because TV offers such a mass media experience, it helps create a collective identity. People across the world share common experiences, conversations, and even inside jokes based on what they see on TV. Whether it's quoting The Office or discussing the latest episode of Stranger Things, TV brings people together, creating bonds based on shared cultural references. Television is a tool with great power, and it's important to consider how it is sometimes used for manipulation. Propaganda is a subtle, yet highly effective force that TV has often been used to convey. Whether through news channels, political dramas, or advertisements, TV can serve as a platform for spreading specific ideologies. It's not just the content that is being consumed, but the message behind it. Propaganda works by creating a narrative that subtly aligns viewers with particular beliefs or behaviors, often without them realizing it. This could be in the form of advertising that convinces us to buy products we don't need, or political shows that promote certain viewpoints. The media can present one side of an argument so convincingly that it shapes public opinion without offering a counterbalance. The influence of TV in this way can alter collective behavior, promoting certain social norms while diminishing others. The use of TV for propaganda is not just limited to political views. It can shape how we view beauty, morality, and even what it means to be successful in society. There's always the age-old question: is TV good or bad for us? On one hand, TV can have a positive influence. It can raise awareness about important issues, provide a sense of belonging, and even teach us valuable life lessons. Educational programs can introduce us to new ideas, and thought-provoking dramas can spark important social debates. The right content can even act as a catalyst for change, inspiring social movements and sparking dialogue about vital issues. But on the flip side, there's no denying that TV can have negative effects. Overconsumption can lead to addiction, reduce attention spans, and increase anxiety. TV can sometimes simplify complex issues, presenting them in ways that reinforce stereotypes or distort reality. And let's not forget about the role of consumerism in TV. Shows and commercials often push us to desire things we don't really need, shaping our values toward materialism and instant gratification. So, is it all bad? Or is there a balance to be found? TV, like any tool, can be used for good or ill. It's about how we choose to engage with it. Understanding its psychological and philosophical effects is key to making more conscious choices about the content we consume. In the end, TV is far more than just a way to kill time. It's a reflection of society, a tool for emotional release, and a mirror that holds up the complexities of human nature. It can help us escape reality, but it can also make us confront uncomfortable truths about our own lives. It influences how we think, how we feel, and how we relate to the world around us. The next time you sit down to watch your favorite show, think about this. You're not just watching characters on a screen. You're engaging in a psychological and philosophical dance, a process of learning, reflecting, and even shaping your own identity. So, what does TV tell you about yourself? What does it tell you about the world? And perhaps most importantly, how will it shape the future of society?